Now, I have to tell you, looking back at this month, I've also seen some crazy stuff happening. I want to talk about one thing that was just top of mind this morning when I was taking. There's this therapist who's breaking the code of holding private conversations and experiences private. And this therapist says that, quote, creepy Prince Andrew was obsessed with anal. Now, recently reports surfaced of Prince Andrew being obsessed with anal sex, and it's also alleged that he demanded naked rub downs per a physical therapist. Now, the 50-year-old therapist, Emma Grunenbaum, says that I had a lot of high profile clients and often visited their homes, but Andrew was very different. He was a constant sex pest right from the start. Now, the therapist is claiming that she was 34 when she worked with the disgraced prince in 2005. And during her first session, she says one of the prince's aides said that she had to do the massage session in the master bedroom because, quote, this was the way the Duke liked it. And she was immediately uncomfortable. Now, the therapist is also saying that she bent over to prepare her equipment when Andrew came up to her and said, hey, nice ass. Do you take it up the ass?
I mean, this is, to me, I don't feel like this is even alarming news. I feel like dude definitely gets down a little creepier than that. It's unfortunate that she had to go through all that, though. I mean, I don't even know how to feel if you're in there with a duke, that level of authority. I'm scared that she's even speaking out, talking about this dude. But hearing this story, it's not something I'm like, oh, it's nothing he would do. I'm surprised it wasn't anything worse than that.
Yeah, and also honestly too, it's an abuse of power. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times when we read these headlines, we think about the salaciousness of anal play and this, what, and the other. Look, nobody on this show is a virgin, right? There's gonna be very few things that we're gonna hear about sexually on this show that one of us hasn't tried. Let's be honest,
I'm a
y'all.
virgin.
So, no, you're
Well,
not.
well,
So,
well, think about the show. There are definitely things on this show that I could talk about that y'all have not tried.
exactly. No, but I'm saying all three of us, I think we've all three cover all the bases. So I'm
Well,
just saying. So it's not that we're sex shaming
let
her or
me
sex
say
shaming him
something.
for anal.
I've covered all the bases, and sometimes I've been on two bases at the same time. But look, I think that I don't think that it's above a prince or a duke or whatever he calls himself to be a sex animal, right? And I think it's natural to want to have sex. I just don't think you should be trying to, stick it in your therapist's butt. But why even approach her like that if that's not even your relationship? Is that just power? Because there are a lot of people in power that think that they can do and say whatever they want. For me, I now ask permission to even touch you because I don't want no problems. But I'm not going to ask my therapist if I can stick it in his butt. Like, I'm there to get help. I'm there to talk my issues through. I am not there to stick it in your booty.
It's not just about touching though, right? Because it's also how you harass people through language. Men offer me some really froggy things sometimes, and sometimes I'll just be staring at them like, "How did we get here so quick, sir?" Like Valentine's Day, I got a pic that was unsolicited. Just opened my phone expecting Happy Valentine's Day,
I
and it
I
was a
I
whole
think
penis.
I think that's
You
appropriate.
have to ask.
I think it's appropriate. I'm sick and tired of living in this world where we can't send pics nowadays. I'm sorry. I told somebody the other day, send me
Mm,
your pic. And you know what they told me? What pic? The pic. There's nothing wrong with asking for a pic. There's nothing wrong with
no,
somebody wanting
it's
to see
solicited.
vagina. Solicit it, and then if a person says I'm not sending it, then move on to the next caller. But
Exactly.
I feel like we live in an ultra PC world now where we're afraid to ask for pics. Like, come on, that's what phones are created for.
I didn't ask. He sent it as a surprise. I was not surprised. I was not happy. We
Maybe he
haven't
was
talked in
thinking of
two
you,
months.
but maybe he was thinking of you. What happened to the is
Oh,
the
he was.
count? What happened to the thought? Maybe what happened to it's the thought that counts. If I was you, I would have just counted the inches. Like, you need to learn how to be. You said you were sexually fluid and all this and that.
Hmm.
Now all of a sudden you can't get a
So
photo.
I'm so happy you mentioned that because in the sexually fluid community, we actually ask for consent more than vanilla folks. So in the space that I'm in, I ask for consent for everything. So you sending an unsolicited pic is actually not very sexually liberated at all. It's an amateur rookie move that tells on you that you're probably not as good as you think you are. Because rookies do that. So no more unsolicited dick pics. If there's a vibe and it makes sense, sure. But if I haven't talked to you since Thanksgiving, me seeing your ball sack on February 14th is not romantic. Hi, hello,
now,
context.
now this won't excuse it, but have you seen the ball sack before? Does he feel like, oh, you
Absolutely.
seen it? Oh, okay. So he was trying to remind
Well,
you that the
yeah,
gift keeps on giving.
maybe he
Okay.
thought you were hungry. I mean, it
No
is
way.
Valentine's Day. He can't take you out for a meal, but if he can send you one via, post message, maybe it could have turned into a date or something.
8 p.m. on Valentine's Day means you just want to get laid and you want to skip the gifts. I'm not
So wait
stupid.
a
I'm not
minute.
falling for that.
So
What
if
what
you've
happened to get
seen,
wait? What happened to getting laid is the gift. It's Valentine's Day. That's the one day you supposed to be busting it open. Everybody should have got. I didn't get none on Valentine's Day, but everybody should have got some on Valentine's Day.
I
I
will
didn't
tell
either.
you this. A lot of men don't realize this when they're dating women. The nicer you are to us, the nastier we are. But if you go straight for sex, we actually shut down. So he fumbled. Had he been like, "How have you been? I miss you. Let's have a meal," he might have gotten some. But just penis at 7:55 with no
Yep.
context?
Well, we don't know his
No.
data. We don't know his data plan, and that's a lot of
Oh, he
messages.
has money.
Sometimes you're charged 20 cents a text. Like, just get it all out in one. Just
Unsolicited pics are a no, fellas. Please
Now, but this
stop.
is my question, and we're gonna get it real quick. If you've seen before, is it
Yeah.
really unsolicited if he just reminds you of what you already saw?
it's
We
like
are not dating.
it's like watching a rerun
We're
of
not
Art.
dating anymore.
It's like
Yeah, it's
watching a
like a
rerun of Martin.
rerun.
You've seen it before, but it's always good to catch it a second time.
So, Damage, you're sending pics to your exes with no context?
No, I'm not sending nothing to my exes, but I'm just saying it's not like you
Exactly.
haven't seen it before. Now, because honestly, if one of my exes sending me an unsolicited nude, I'm not gonna be too mad at that. I'm just saying.
A penis is not as pretty as a woman's body. I gotta like you to want to see. Sorry.
Wait. A penis is not as what as a woman's body?
I only find penises attractive when I like who they're attached to.
Not me.
So, a penis that is just floating around and I don't like you anymore is just a one-eyed monster looking at me on my phone.
There was
That
somebody
doesn't do
that I
anything for me.
don't. There was somebody that I don't like, but I just discovered their penis. I was like, I actually kind of like you a little bit more now. You know what I mean? Like, I
That's
actually
some
think
whole
penis
shit.
can actually make you grow fonder. I think it's all perspective. Like, we need to get to a place in the world where we can start to bridge some of these gaps that exist. Okay, where we
What?
believe that we can't get closer to one another by other parts of our body than the heart. I do have to say that I think that that was a missed opportunity for you, and if you still have the text, you should definitely respond and set that thing up.